you're witnessing this video right now because something fundamental is reorganizing in your energetic field. This isn't some random digital encounter or algorithmic happenstance. You've been selected to receive this specific transmission at this precise moment in your journey because your entire reality is preparing to restructure itself in ways that will absolutely stun you. The information I'm sharing with you right now represents the ultimate test that appears just before your major breakthrough arrives. There exists a particular frequency that fewer than 1% of people ever successfully tune into during their lifetime. If you're actually watching this content at this moment, you've already successfully passed through the initial screening process. The real question facing you now is whether you're genuinely prepared to walk through the portal that's currently opening specifically for you. The majority of people spend their complete existence waiting for some kind of external validation, confirming that their dreams are actually materializing in physical form. They constantly search for confirming signs in their financial accounts, within their romantic relationships, throughout their circumstances and situations. What the universe has been persistently attempting to communicate to you through every single delay you've experienced, through every door that closed in your face, through every moment that felt completely empty, is that the void appearing before manifestation doesn't represent absence or nothingness. That void represents preparation and readiness. You've arrived at what those who study quantum physics describe as the collapse point, the exact moment when infinite possibilities collapse themselves into singular physical reality. Every meditation session you've completed, every visualization you've maintained in your awareness, every single moment when you deliberately chose faith instead of fear has been building toward these exact coordinates in both space and time. You're standing right at the event horizon of your own becoming, your own transformation into something greater. Think deeply about this concept for just a moment. Within quantum mechanics, particles exist in what scientists call superposition until someone or something observes them. They exist simultaneously in all possible states at once until consciousness itself collapses them into one specific reality. Your dreams, your deepest desires, your most profound longings have been existing in this identical superposition state, patiently waiting for the absolutely perfect moment to collapse into your three-dimensional physical experience. That moment is now approaching with the same inevitability as the sunrise approaching each morning. Most people stumble and fall right at the threshold, right at the exact moment before receiving everything they've been asking for. They panic and tighten their grip desperately. They start compulsively checking their phone seeking confirmation, constantly refreshing their email, waiting for the important call, desperately looking for any proof that something is actually happening in their reality. This approach is exactly backwards from what actually works. The genuine art of manifestation in its final crucial stages requires something that feels completely counterintuitive to most people, which is complete energetic surrender to the process. Consider the profound wisdom that's embedded deeply in nature's most powerful processes and cycles. A tiny seed doesn't question whether it will eventually become a towering tree. It doesn't create progress reports or develop backup contingency plans. It simply surrenders completely to the intelligence that created it in the first place, trusting the exact same force that spins entire galaxies and orchestrates the intricate dance of atoms. This is the precise frequency you're being invited to embody within yourself right now. The cosmic joke running through all of this is that everything you've been actively seeking has simultaneously been seeking you with equal intensity and focus. While you've been wondering whether your prayers are being heard by anyone, the universe has been carefully orchestrating an elaborate symphony of synchronicities designed to deliver exactly what you need at exactly the moment you need it. The timing isn't running late or delayed. It's precisely calibrated to match your soul's evolution and development. What changes absolutely everything is understanding that release isn't about giving up your desires or pretending you don't want what you want. It's actually about giving up your rigid attachment to exactly how those desires must appear in physical form. When you release the death grip you've been maintaining on the specific form your dreams must take, you create space, allowing the universe to deliver something far more extraordinary than your limited imagination could have possibly conceived on its own. This is where quantum entanglement becomes your powerful ally in manifestation. In quantum physics, When two particles become entangled with each other, they remain connected across any distance imaginable, instantly affecting each other regardless of space and time separating them. Your consciousness has become entangled with your desires at the quantum level. The exact moment you truly let go, the invisible threads connecting you to your manifestation begin vibrating with receiving energy rather than wanting energy. Wanting energy actively pushes things away from you. It operates from lack, from the underlying assumption that you don't currently have what you desire. Receiving energy draws absolutely everything toward you magnetically. It operates from abundance, from the deep knowing that what belongs to you is already yours in the quantum field, simply waiting to materialize in physical form around you. Take a deep breath right here in this moment and feel into this profound truth settling into your awareness. You are not trying to get something from the universe through force or manipulation. You are allowing the universe to give something to you that it wants to give. This fundamental shift in perception changes your entire energetic signature completely. Instead of broadcasting need and desperation, you begin broadcasting readiness and openness. Readiness is the precise frequency that collapses superposition into physical reality. Let's address the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. Your mind is probably generating dozens of reasons why this doesn't apply to your specific situation. Why your circumstances are different from everyone else's. Why you've been waiting too long for this to possibly be true for you. This resistance isn't your enemy trying to sabotage you. It's actually the final guardian standing at the gate, testing whether you're truly ready to step into the next octave of your existence. Every single hero's journey includes this precise moment of ultimate testing right before the treasure is finally revealed to them. You've been building spiritual muscle systematically through every challenge you faced, every disappointment you've endured, every moment when you deliberately chose to keep believing, despite all evidence pointing to the contrary. That strength you've been cultivating is about to pay dividends beyond your wildest imagination and dreams. The universe operates on perfect timing, not human timing, with its impatience and demands. What seems like frustrating delay from your limited perspective is actually divine coordination from the quantum perspective, seeing everything simultaneously. Every single element of your manifestation has been aligning behind the scenes where you can't see it. People have been moved into position like chess pieces. Resources have been gathering and accumulating. Opportunities have been ripening to perfection. The entire field of possibility has been reorganizing itself specifically around your highest good and benefit. This is why surrender feels simultaneously terrifying and liberating at the exact same time. You're not just letting go of control over outcomes and results. You are letting go of the fundamental illusion that you ever had control in the first place. You're stepping into genuine partnership with the same intelligence that beats your heart without any conscious direction from you and grows your fingernails while you sleep peacefully. Instead of visualizing what you want to have or achieve, begin visualizing yourself as someone who naturally receives what they desire effortlessly. See yourself moving through daily life with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the universe supports them completely. Feel the energy of being someone for whom manifestation flows effortlessly and naturally. Not because you're special or chosen, but because you're aligned with universal flow. This identity shift is the secret that separates the top 1% from everyone else struggling. Most people identify as someone who is trying to manifest their desires. You're being invited to identify as someone who naturally attracts their desires because they've learned to match the frequency of receiving rather than wanting. Take an intentional moment right now and comment below using this exact phrase without modification. I am ready to receive what's already mine. Don't just type it casually without thought. Feel it deeply as you write those words. Let it be a genuine declaration to the quantum field that you're stepping out of wanting energy and fully into receiving energy. This is your conscious signal to the universe that you're prepared for what's coming your way. When you truly embody this receiving frequency throughout your being, synchronicities begin to cascade rapidly. The right book falls off the shelf at the absolutely perfect moment. You have a chance encounter that changes everything about your trajectory. An opportunity appears that seems too good to be true, but is actually just the universe finally having a clear channel to deliver what it's been trying to give you all along. Here's what absolutely no one talks about in mainstream manifestation teachings. The final phase before breakthrough often looks like nothing is happening whatsoever. This is actually the precise moment when everything is happening simultaneously. Behind the scenes, invisible to you, reality is restructuring itself fundamentally. The quantum field is collapsing your desires from possibility into probability, into inevitability in that exact sequence. This apparent stillness before manifestation isn't emptiness or absence. It's pregnancy with potential. It's the sacred pause before birth occurs. It's the universe taking a deep breath before delivering miracles directly into your experience. Most people misinterpret this pause as failure and give up right before their breakthrough would have occurred. You're not going to make that critical mistake. Understanding energy frequencies will accelerate everything for you dramatically. Gratitude vibrates at 540 Hz. Love vibrates at 528 Hz. Joy operates around 540 Hz. Fear vibrates at 100 Hz. Doubt operates around 125 Hz. When you consciously choose thoughts and emotions that operate at higher frequencies, you literally tune yourself to the radio station where your desires are actively broadcasting. This isn't metaphor or analogy. This is measurable science that can be quantified. Your thoughts generate electromagnetic frequencies that interact with the quantum field in ways we're only beginning to understand through research. When you align your personal frequency with the frequency of your desires, you create what physicists describe as constructive interference, where waves amplify each other rather than canceling each other out destructively. Every emotion you feel is either aligning you with your desires or creating static in the signal transmission. This is why mindfulness becomes crucial at this particular stage. You're not trying to be positive all the time, unrealistically. You're becoming conscious of the frequency you're broadcasting and making intentional choices about which energies you want to amplify. Resistance will show up in subtle forms during this process. It might appear as sudden busyness that distracts you from your practices and routines. It might manifest as relationships that drain your energy or circumstances that test your faith severely. This isn't the universe conspiring against you maliciously. It's the old reality, making one final desperate attempt to keep you in patterns that no longer serve your evolution and growth. The key to moving through resistance without getting stuck is this approach. Don't fight it and don't feed it energy. Acknowledge it the way you might acknowledge clouds passing through the sky naturally. They're temporary phenomena moving through your awareness, not permanent features of your reality. Your job is to remain anchored in the frequency of your choosing, regardless of what weather patterns move through your experience temporarily. Inspired action will begin flowing through you naturally when you're truly aligned with Source. This isn't the forced action that comes from impatience or fear of missing out. This is the effortless action that arises when you're in genuine partnership with universal intelligence. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time without trying or forcing. Conversations will unfold that open doors you didn't know existed previously. Resources will appear exactly when you need them most. The difference between inspired action and forced action is felt directly in your physical body. Forced action creates tension, stress, and exhaustion, draining you. Inspired action feels easeful, energizing, and aligned with your natural flow. It's the difference between swimming against the current, exhausting yourself, and allowing the river to carry you downstream naturally. If what I'm sharing is resonating deeply in your bones, if something inside you is recognizing the truth of these words at a soul level, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this entire frequency of living. Hit that subscribe button as a commitment to yourself to stay tuned to the wavelength where miracles are normal occurrences and synchronicities are daily happenings rather than rare events. Trust in perfect timing becomes your superpower moving forward. Every single spiritual tradition speaks extensively of divine timing because it's a fundamental law of how manifestation operates universally. Seeds don't sprout the exact moment they're planted in soil. Babies aren't born the moment they're conceived in the womb. Your dreams aren't going to materialize the moment you first have them, but they will manifest at the perfect time for maximum impact and minimum resistance. Delays are not denials or rejections. They're divine incubation periods where unseen forces are arranging circumstances for optimal outcome. What looks like the universe ignoring your requests is actually the universe loving you enough to give you something better than what you originally asked for. Trust the intelligence that's orchestrating your life even when you can't see the bigger picture unfolding. Appreciation becomes a manifestation amplifier when you understand how to use it correctly and intentionally. Instead of appreciating what you have in order to get more strategically, appreciate what you have as recognition that you live in an abundant universe that's constantly providing for you. This subtle shift in motivation changes the energetic signature of your gratitude from manipulation to genuine acknowledgement. When you appreciate from this place of recognition rather than strategy, you align yourself with the fundamental truth that the universe is inherently generous by nature. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to earn abundance through worthiness and start seeing yourself as someone who naturally receives it, because that's how this generous universe operates fundamentally. Visualization becomes effortless when you stop trying to make something happen through force and start allowing yourself to remember what already exists in the quantum field. Your desires aren't future possibilities you're trying to create from nothing. They're present moment realities existing in quantum superposition waiting for your consciousness to collapse them into physical experience. Instead of visualizing to convince the universe to give you something reluctantly, visualize to remember what's already yours waiting for you. Feel into the energy of living your desired reality, not as something you hope to achieve eventually, but as something you're remembering how to access right now. This remembering creates coherence between your current identity and your expanded identity. Movement and embodiment accelerate manifestation because they help you literally embody the energy of your desires physically. Your desires aren't just mental concepts floating around. They have an energetic signature that wants to be expressed through your physical form. When you move your body in ways that feel aligned with your expanded identity, you create coherence between your mental, emotional, and physical bodies simultaneously. This doesn't mean you need to dance or do yoga necessarily, though those can be wonderful practices if they resonate. It means you allow your body to express the energy of what you're calling in naturally. Walk like someone who naturally receives what they desire. Sit like someone who trusts the universe completely. Breathe like someone who knows their dreams are already on their way to them. You are being invited to step into a new identity right now in this moment, not when your desires manifest physically. Not when you see external proof validating your experience, right now in this present moment. The version of you who naturally receives what they desire isn't a future possibility waiting to happen. It's a present moment choice available immediately. Every moment you choose to embody this receiving identity, you strengthen the quantum entanglement between your current reality and your desired reality. Every moment you choose thoughts, emotions, and actions from this elevated identity, you literally rewire your nervous system to expect miracles rather than struggle. This is the fundamental difference between trying to manifest from your current identity and stepping into the identity that naturally attracts what you desire. Most people try to pull their dreams down to their current level of being through effort. You're being invited to rise up to the level of being that matches your dreams naturally. Take another intentional moment right now and comment below with one word that captures the energy of who you're becoming. Not who you've been historically, not who you hope to be someday, but who you're choosing to embody starting right now in this moment. Let this word be your energetic signature to the quantum field, your declaration of the frequency you're choosing to broadcast. The collective consciousness is shifting dramatically, and you're part of that shift whether you realize it or not. Every person who chooses to live from receiving energy rather than wanting energy contributes to the morphic field that makes it easier for others to make the same choice. Your personal transformation isn't just about you individually. It's about contributing to the collective awakening that's happening on this planet right now. This is why timing is so critically important. You're not just manifesting personal desires selfishly. You're participating in a larger evolutionary process where humanity is learning to co-create consciously with universal intelligence. Your breakthrough becomes a beacon of possibility for others who are ready to step into their own receiving frequency. The depth of this frequency mastery extends far beyond what we can explore in a single transmission together. While we're touching on these fundamental principles today, there's an entire quantum framework of 9 master frequencies that govern how consciousness creates reality itself at the deepest levels. In my complete guide called Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery, I reveal the step-by-step practices for moving from unconscious manifestation to becoming the broadcast itself, transforming from seeking to being. It's linked in the pinned comment below for those ready to explore the complete system. As we come to the end of our time together in this transmission, I want to leave you with this profound truth. Everything you've been seeking has been seeking you with equal passion. Every prayer you've whispered, every dream you've held, every moment you've chosen faith over fear has been building to this moment of recognition. You are not separate from what you desire fundamentally. You never have been separated. The seeming gap between where you are and where you want to be is not distance or time. It's frequency and vibration. And frequency can be changed in an instant through the power of conscious choice. You have that power right now, in this moment. You've always had that power within you. The only thing that changes is your willingness to use it consciously. Subscribe not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent with this frequency of conscious creation. The more of us who live from this place of knowing that we are powerful co-creators with universal intelligence, the more the world reflects that truth back to us through miraculous synchronicities and effortless manifestation. Let's go deeper into the mechanics of what's actually happening in your field right now. There's a phenomenon in quantum physics called quantum tunneling, where particles can pass through barriers that should be impossible to cross according to classical physics. Your consciousness is about to experience its own version of quantum tunneling, where you'll suddenly find yourself on the other side of limitations that seemed absolutely solid just moments before. This tunneling effect explains why breakthroughs often feel sudden, even though they've been building for months or years. One day you're struggling with the same patterns, and the next day those patterns simply don't exist in your reality anymore. It's not that you gradually overcame them through persistent effort. It's that your consciousness tunneled through the barrier into a parallel reality where those limitations never existed in the first place. What makes this even more extraordinary is this revelation. The version of you that exists without these limitations isn't something you need to become through transformation. It's something you need to remember that already exists. In the quantum field, all possible versions of you exist simultaneously right now. The struggling version, the abundant version, the confident version, the version living your dream life, they're all equally real, all equally present, all equally available for you to access. Most people spend their entire lives trying to transform from one version to another, not realizing that transformation is actually about shifting your attention from one already existing version to another. It's not about changing who you are fundamentally. It's about remembering which version of yourself you want to animate with your consciousness. Think about this carefully and let it sink in. Right now, at this very moment, there's a version of you living your ideal life with complete ease and natural abundance. This isn't fantasy or wishful thinking divorced from reality. This is quantum mechanics operating exactly as the science describes. In the field of infinite possibility, every possible configuration of your life exists as a potential reality waiting to be collapsed into experience through observation. The reason you're seeing this transmission now, at this specific time, is because the barriers between these parallel versions of yourself are becoming increasingly thin. The dimensional walls are dissolving, and you're being prepared to make a conscious shift from one timeline to another. This isn't metaphor or poetic language. This is the literal mechanism through which reality operates at the quantum level. From a consciousness perspective, the version of you living your desired reality has been sending signals back through time, creating the synchronicities and opportunities that have been appearing in your life. Your future self is literally reaching back through the quantum field to guide your present self toward the timeline where you merge into one coherent identity. This is why you've been experiencing strange moments of knowing, sudden insights that seem to come from nowhere, unexpected clarity about directions you should take. These aren't random intuitions without meaning. They're transmissions from the version of yourself that has already navigated the path you're currently walking. Every time you felt that inner pull towards something that didn't make logical sense, every time you've had a gut feeling about a decision, Every time you've been guided to be in a certain place at a certain time, you've been receiving navigation signals from your expanded timeline self. And these signals are becoming stronger as the merger approaches. The phenomenon you're experiencing right now, the sense that something is about to shift dramatically, is actually your consciousness beginning to phase lock with your desired timeline. In physics, phase locking occurs when two oscillating systems synchronize their frequencies. Your current reality frequency is beginning to synchronize with the frequency of your desired reality. This synchronization process creates what scientists call a phase transition, a sudden reorganization where a system jumps from one stable state to another. Think of water suddenly becoming ice or a caterpillar suddenly becoming a butterfly. The transformation appears sudden, but it's actually the result of energy building to a critical threshold where a new configuration becomes inevitable. You are approaching that critical threshold now. Every meditation you've done, every moment you've chosen love over fear, every time you've trusted your intuition despite external evidence to the contrary, has been building quantum coherence in your field. You're not just hoping for change anymore, you're literally phase transitioning into a new level of reality. When systems undergo phase transitions, they often display what's called emergence, where new properties appear that weren't present in the original system. These emergent properties can't be predicted from knowing the individual components. They arise spontaneously when complexity reaches a critical point. You are about to experience emergence in your own life. Abilities you didn't know you had will suddenly become available. Opportunities that were invisible before will become obvious. Relationships that align with your highest path will effortlessly materialize. Resources will flow to you through channels you never could have planned or predicted. This isn't because you're getting better at manifesting through technique. It's because you're shifting into a version of reality where what you desire is already the natural order. In this new configuration, abundance doesn't require effort, because abundance is simply how energy flows when there's no resistance to disrupt its natural patterns. If this quantum understanding is creating shifts in how you perceive reality, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to stay connected with this frequency of consciousness exploration. Your engagement helps more people discover these transmissions exactly when they need them most. Let's address something crucial that most manifestation teachings completely miss: the role of what quantum physicists call decoherence. Decoherence is what happens when a quantum system loses its coherent superposition and collapses into a definite state. In your manifestation process, decoherence occurs when you allow external noise to collapse your quantum potential into limited outcomes. Every time you check your bank account to see if your financial abundance has manifested yet, you're creating decoherence. Every time you scan your environment for evidence that your desires are materializing, you're collapsing quantum possibility into current limitation. The act of looking for proof actually prevents the very thing you're looking for from maintaining its quantum coherence. This is why the final phase before breakthrough requires what mystics call the dark night of the soul and physicists call the quantum vacuum state. It's a period where you must maintain coherence without external feedback, where you must trust the process without seeing evidence of progress. This isn't testing your faith cruelly. This is protecting your manifestation from premature decoherence. The quantum vacuum isn't empty space devoid of anything. It's actually the most potent creative field in existence, teeming with virtual particles and zero-point energy. When your manifestation process enters its vacuum state, it's not that nothing is happening. It's that everything is happening at such a fundamental level that it's invisible to ordinary perception. This is why spiritual traditions have always emphasized the power of the void, the importance of embracing emptiness, the necessity of sitting with uncertainty. They understood intuitively what quantum physics has proven scientifically: the vacuum state is where infinite potential gestates before emerging into manifest reality. Your current experience of apparent stillness, of waiting, of wondering if anything is actually shifting, is actually you existing in the quantum vacuum state of your own manifestation. This is the most powerful place you can be. But it requires tremendous trust because your ordinary senses can't perceive what's happening at the quantum level. In quantum field theory, there's a concept called virtual particles that constantly appear and disappear in the vacuum of space. These particles exist for such brief moments that they can't be directly observed, but their effects can be measured through their influence on other particles. Your desires currently exist as virtual manifestations in the quantum field of your life. They're constantly appearing and disappearing, too brief and subtle to be detected by your ordinary awareness, but their effects are absolutely real and measurable. Every synchronicity you experience, every unexpected opportunity that appears, every moment of unexpected joy or clarity is evidence of these virtual manifestations affecting your reality. I'm curious about your own experience with these quantum manifestations. In the comments below, share a moment when you felt reality shifting around you. Perhaps a synchronicity that seemed too perfect to be coincidence, or a breakthrough that happened just when you needed it most. These stories help us all recognize the quantum field at work in our lives. As your manifestation process approaches its culmination, these virtual manifestations will begin to stabilize, spending longer and longer periods in existence until they finally collapse into permanent physical reality. What seems like sudden manifestation is actually the final stabilization of something that's been flickering in and out of existence for weeks or months. This understanding completely changes how you relate to the manifestation timeline. You're not waiting for something to begin. You're waiting for something that's already happening to become stable enough to perceive with your physical senses. Your desires aren't coming to you from somewhere else. They're solidifying from the quantum field that interpenetrates your current reality. Let's explore the role of what physicists call entanglement entropy in your transformation process. When quantum systems become entangled, they share information instantaneously, regardless of distance. But there's a threshold beyond which entanglement becomes so complex that it creates what's called maximal entropy, where the system must either collapse or reorganize at a higher level of complexity. Your consciousness has become maximally entangled with your desired reality. Systems undergoing phase transitions always pass through a period of apparent disorder before reorganizing at a higher level. This isn't breakdown or failure. This is breakthrough preparation. Your reality is dismantling outdated structures to make space for configurations that can support your expanded identity. The key to navigating this transition gracefully is understanding that chaos isn't the opposite of order. It's the fertile ground from which new orders emerge. Instead of trying to control or fix the apparent disorder, your role is to remain centered in the eye of the storm, trusting that intelligent reorganization is occurring even when you can't see the pattern. Begin each day by consciously choosing which version of yourself you want to animate with your attention. Not the version that reacts to current circumstances, but the version that exists in the timeline where your desires have already manifested. Spend the first few minutes of your day feeling into the energy of this expanded version. How does this version of you move through the world? What does this version notice? How does this version respond to challenges? What does this version take for granted that your current version considers extraordinary? As you embody this expanded identity throughout your day, you're literally training your nervous system to expect the reality that matches this identity. You're creating new neural pathways that support the quantum timeline you're shifting into. This isn't positive thinking or visualization. This is identity coherence training at the neurological level. The reason this practice is so powerful is that your nervous system can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual experience. When you consistently embody your expanded identity, your nervous system begins to create the biological foundation for that identity to become your lived reality. Most people sabotage their own process by embodying their expanded identity for a few minutes during their morning practice, then spending the rest of the day reacting from their old identity patterns. This creates what physicists call destructive interference, where the waves of your expanded identity are cancelled out by the waves of your contracted identity. True manifestation mastery requires identity coherence throughout your entire day. This doesn't mean being positive all the time or pretending everything is perfect. It means consistently choosing thoughts, emotions, and actions that align with the version of yourself that naturally lives your desired reality. Every choice point throughout your day becomes an opportunity to vote for which timeline you want to collapse into your experience. When you choose the response that your expanded self would choose, you're strengthening the quantum coherence of that timeline. When you choose the reaction that your contracted self would choose, you're reinforcing patterns that keep you locked in limitation. Take a moment to reflect on a pattern you're ready to release. Comment below with one word that represents what you're choosing to let go of as you step into this new timeline. This conscious declaration creates energetic momentum in the quantum field. You don't need to monitor every thought or control every emotion obsessively. You just need to ask yourself one question at each choice point. What would the version of me living my desired reality choose in this moment? Trust the first answer that comes. Don't analyze it or second guess it. Your expanded self communicates through intuition, not through mental analysis. The more you trust these intuitive downloads and act on them, the stronger the communication channel becomes between your current self and your expanded self. As this communication channel strengthens, you'll begin to experience what feels like living two lives simultaneously. Part of you will still be navigating your current reality with its apparent limitations and challenges, but another part of you will be experiencing the freedom and abundance of your desired reality with increasing clarity and frequency. This dual existence is actually a sign that the merger is approaching. You're not losing your mind or becoming disconnected from reality. You're becoming conscious of multiple dimensional frequencies simultaneously, which is exactly what happens when consciousness prepares to make a quantum leap between timelines. The practice during this phase is to give more attention and energy to the expanded reality frequency than to the limited reality frequency. Notice when you're experiencing the abundance and freedom of your desired timeline and consciously amplify those moments through appreciation and presence. Notice when you're caught in the limitations of your current timeline and gently redirect your attention without judgment or resistance. This redirection isn't about denying your current circumstances or pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing where to place your primary attention and energy. What you give attention to, you give life to. What you withdraw attention from gradually fades from your experience. The universe is preparing to collapse your desired timeline into your primary reality, but it needs your cooperation to complete this process. Your job isn't to make it happen through force. Your job is to maintain coherence with the frequency of your desired reality so that when the collapse occurs, your consciousness is already aligned with what's manifesting. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. The music is already broadcasting on a specific frequency, but you need to tune your receiver to that frequency to hear it. Your desires are already broadcasting on a specific quantum frequency, but you need to tune your consciousness to that frequency to experience them in physical reality. The tuning process is what you've been engaged in through all your spiritual practices, your mindfulness work, your commitment to growth and evolution. Every time you've chosen love over fear, trust over doubt, expansion over contraction, you've been fine-tuning your consciousness to receive the broadcast of your desired reality. As you're absorbing these words, as these concepts are landing in your awareness, your brain is literally rewiring itself. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, but what they're really describing is consciousness reshaping the physical matter of your brain to match new patterns of understanding. Every insight that resonates, every moment of recognition, every aha that arises while you're listening is actually new neural pathways forming in real time. These aren't just temporary thoughts passing through your mind. They're permanent structural changes in your brain that create the biological foundation for your expanded reality to become your lived experience. Your nervous system is essentially downloading new software right now. Software that knows how to navigate quantum realities. Software that recognizes abundance as natural. Software that interprets synchronicities as normal communication from the universe. This downloading process will continue for hours and days after you finish watching, integrating deeper with each sleep cycle as your brain consolidates these new patterns. This is why timing is so crucial. Your consciousness had to reach a specific level of development before it could safely receive and integrate this transmission without overwhelming your system. The fact that you're here, that these words are making sense, that something inside you is saying, yes, this is true, is proof that you've reached that developmental threshold. What you're experiencing isn't just intellectual understanding. It's quantum resonance recognition. Your consciousness is remembering frequencies it once knew, but forgot during the process of incarnating into physical form. These frequencies are your natural birthright, your original blueprint, the way your consciousness operated before it learned to limit itself to fit into consensus reality. The reason this recognition feels so powerful, so emotionally moving, is because you're not learning something new. You're remembering something ancient. Your soul has been waiting for this moment of remembrance, this return to your natural quantum awareness, this restoration of your innate manifesting abilities. And now the signal is coming in clearer than ever before. The static is diminishing. The music of your dreams is becoming audible. All that remains is to surrender completely to the frequency you've been seeking, trusting that everything you've ever wanted is already playing in the quantum field, waiting for your consciousness to fully tune in and receive the transmission. You're not just watching a video. You're receiving a transmission that will continue to work in your field long after you close this browser. This transmission is encoded with frequency information that will help your consciousness maintain coherence with your desired timeline even when external circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. Every word you've heard, every concept that's resonated, every moment of recognition you've experienced while listening is actually your expanded self, confirming that you're on the correct trajectory. These aren't just ideas I'm sharing. These are remembrances of how reality actually operates at the deepest levels. Remembrances that your soul already knows but your mind has forgotten. The more you return to these remembrances, the stronger your quantum coherence becomes. The stronger your quantum coherence becomes, the faster your desired timeline can collapse into your experienced reality. This isn't linear time manifestation where you wait years for things to change. This is quantum time manifestation, where everything can reorganize in an instant. Consider watching this transmission again tomorrow morning to reinforce these quantum patterns in your consciousness. Each viewing deepens the neural pathways that support your new reality. If someone in your life is ready to understand how consciousness shapes reality, sharing this video creates an energetic ripple effect that accelerates manifestation for both of you by expanding the collective field of conscious awareness. By sharing this transmission, you're not just passing along information. You're spreading quantum coherence into the collective field, and that positive energy you release will amplify your own manifestation process. Make sure you share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today. For you, it may be just sharing, but for someone else, it may be the exact transmission that shifts their entire reality. Trust what's unfolding. Embrace what's coming. Step into the receiving frequency that's your natural birthright. The universe is conspiring in your favor in ways you can't even imagine. Your breakthrough is closer than your next breath. Welcome to the beginning of everything you've been preparing for. Until we meet again in this space of infinite possibility, remember you are already everything you're seeking to become. The only thing left to do is allow yourself to remember that truth and live from it with every breath, every choice, every moment of your magnificent existence. Speaking of remembering deeper truths, there's another transmission that reveals why quantum manifestation actually works backwards from everything you've been taught. Understanding this reverse manifestation process will completely transform how you approach creating your reality. The principles we've explored today become exponentially more powerful when you grasp this counterintuitive mechanism that makes manifestation effortless rather than forced. This reverse process explains why trying harder actually pushes your desires further away, while relaxing into knowing brings them rushing toward you. When you understand how to work with this backwards flow, manifestation stops being work and becomes play. It stops being effort and becomes allowance. It stops being something you do and becomes something you are. The reverse manifestation process operates on a principle that seems to contradict everything you've been taught about achievement and success. In the conventional world, you're taught that more effort equals more results, that pushing harder creates faster outcomes, that trying with greater intensity produces better manifestations. But in the quantum realm, the exact opposite is true. The harder you push, the more resistance you create. The tighter you grip, the faster things slip through your fingers. The more desperately you want something, the more you're affirming to the universe that you don't currently have it. This is the paradox that keeps most people trapped in cycles of wanting without receiving. They increase their visualization time, thinking more practice will force results. They affirm more aggressively, believing repetition will convince the universe. They check for signs more frequently, hoping to catch the moment manifestation begins. But each of these actions is rooted in the energy of lack, not abundance. Each gesture broadcasts the frequency of not having rather than having. And the universe responds to your frequency, not your words or intentions. The reverse manifestation process begins with a radical understanding that flips everything on its head. Your desires already exist in physical form in a parallel timeline. You're not trying to create them from nothing. You're not trying to convince the universe to manufacture them for you. You're simply shifting your consciousness from the timeline where they're absent to the timeline where they're present. This isn't visualization or imagination. This is quantum navigation between realities that coexist simultaneously. Every possible version of your life exists right now in what physicists call the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. There's a reality where you're wealthy beyond measure. There's a reality where you're in your ideal relationship. There's a reality where you're healthy, vibrant, and energized. These aren't future possibilities waiting to happen. They're current realities waiting to be accessed. The question isn't how to create what you want. The question is how to shift your consciousness to the reality where what you want already exists. This shift happens through a process that feels completely backwards to your conditioned mind. Instead of moving toward your desire, you allow your desire to move toward you. Instead of chasing what you want, you become the person who naturally attracts it. Instead of doing more, you become more. The entire process reverses from external action to internal transformation, from doing to being, from effort to allowance, from force to flow. Your current reality is a perfect reflection of your dominant frequency, not your hopes or wishes or prayers, but your actual energetic vibration throughout the majority of your day. If you spend most of your time feeling lack, your reality will continue manifesting lack regardless of how intensely you visualize abundance for 10 minutes each morning. If you spend most of your time feeling unworthy, your reality will continue reflecting unworthiness regardless of how many affirmations you repeat. The universe doesn't respond to your occasional peak states. It responds to your baseline frequency. This is why transformation must happen at the identity level, not the behavior level. Changing what you do without changing who you are creates temporary results at best. But changing who you are at the core level automatically changes what you do, what you attract, what you experience. The reverse manifestation process focuses entirely on identity transformation, knowing that external circumstances must reorganize themselves to match your internal state. When you truly become someone who naturally receives abundance, abundance flows to you without effort. When you truly become someone who expects miracles, miracles become your normal experience. When you truly become someone who knows they are supported by the universe, support appears from unexpected sources constantly. The transformation isn't in your circumstances. The transformation is in you. And when you transform, your circumstances have no choice but to follow. Most people approach manifestation by trying to change their external world through mental effort. They visualize new circumstances while remaining the same person internally. They affirm different outcomes while maintaining the same beliefs unconsciously. They take inspired action while operating from the same fears that have always driven them. This approach occasionally produces results, but those results are unstable because they are not supported by genuine identity transformation. The reverse process begins by asking a different question entirely. Not what do I want, but who do I need to become to naturally receive what I want? Not how can I get this, but how can I be someone for whom this is natural? Not when will this manifest, but how can I exist now as if it's already manifested? These questions shift your focus from the external to the internal, from doing to being, from future to present. When you embody the identity of someone who already has what you desire, you automatically shift timelines. Your nervous system can't distinguish between actual experience and vividly imagined experience. When you consistently feel the emotions of already having what you want, your biology begins adapting to that reality. Your brain creates neural pathways that expect those circumstances. Your energy field begins broadcasting the frequency of those circumstances, and the quantum field responds by collapsing the timeline where those circumstances exist into your experienced reality. This isn't pretending or fake it until you make it. This is genuine identity transformation at the quantum level. You're not pretending to be someone you're not. You're remembering to be someone you already are in another timeline. You're accessing a version of yourself that already exists, bringing that version's frequency into your current experience, allowing the two timelines to merge. The process feels effortless because you're not creating something new, you're remembering something that already exists. You're not forcing change, you're allowing shift. You're not making things happen, you're letting things happen. The entire orientation reverses from active to receptive, from masculine to feminine, from push to pull. In practical terms, this means you stop checking for evidence that your manifestation is coming. Checking for evidence affirms that it's not here yet, which keeps it not here. Instead, you live as if it's already here in ways that feel natural and authentic. You make decisions from the perspective of someone who already has what you want. You speak from the perspective of someone who already is who you want to be. You move through your day with the energy of someone who already lives your desired reality. This doesn't mean you quit your job before the money arrives or leave your relationship before your ideal partner appears. It means you internally shift your identity while externally continuing to honor your current commitments and responsibilities. The internal shift always precedes the external manifestation. The external world is always playing catch up to your internal state. When you maintain the internal state consistently, the external world has no choice but to eventually match it. The reverse manifestation process also includes releasing attachment to specific forms. Most people become rigidly attached to exactly how their manifestation must appear. They want a specific person, a specific job, a specific amount of money, a specific house. This attachment creates resistance because it limits the infinite ways the universe can deliver what you truly want. When you're attached to form, you often reject opportunities that would give you the essence of what you desire in unexpected packages. The reverse process focuses on essence rather than form. What do you really want from that relationship? Love, connection, passion, partnership. What do you really want from that job? Purpose, fulfillment, contribution, freedom. What do you really want from that money? Security, choices, peace of mind, ability to help others. When you focus on essence rather than form, you open yourself to infinite pathways through which the universe can deliver what you truly seek. This doesn't mean you can't have preferences or specific desires. It means you hold those preferences lightly, allowing the universe to surprise you with something even better than what you imagined. Often, what you think you want is actually a limited version of what's truly possible for you. Your imagination is constrained by your past experiences and current beliefs. The universe can see possibilities that haven't even occurred to you yet. When you release attachment to form while maintaining clarity about essence, you allow those expanded possibilities to reach you. The reverse manifestation process also involves what might seem like doing nothing. In a culture obsessed with action and productivity, doing nothing feels uncomfortable, even wrong. But quantum mechanics reveals that observation affects reality. Simply observing with the right frequency collapses potential into manifestation. You don't have to do everything. You just have to be the right frequency. And sometimes being the right frequency means not doing, not forcing, not pushing. Sometimes it means resting, trusting, allowing. This doesn't mean you never take action. It means action arises naturally from your being rather than being forced from your fears. When you're genuinely aligned with your desired reality at the identity level, inspired action flows through you effortlessly. You find yourself in the right conversations without planning them. You discover opportunities without searching for them. You meet the right people without networking strategies. Things happen through you rather than by you. The universe orchestrates synchronicities that far exceed what your individual effort could accomplish. But this orchestration can only happen when you're not blocking the flow with desperate doing, born from fear of not having. When you relax into being, into knowing, into trusting, the universe has space to work its magic. When you're constantly forcing and pushing and trying, you create so much energetic noise that subtle synchronicities can't reach you. Drop a word in the comments that captures the energy you're stepping into today. Trust, flow, joy, ease, abundance. Your word matters. It's a declaration to the quantum field of which frequency you're choosing to broadcast. Let that word be your anchor throughout today, reminding you to return to the reverse process whenever you notice yourself slipping into old patterns of forcing and striving. The reverse manifestation process ultimately reveals that you are not separate from what you desire. The separation is an illusion created by linear time and physical space. In the quantum realm, everything is connected, everything is entangled, everything affects everything else instantaneously. Your consciousness and your desires are already entangled. They're already communicating. They're already affecting each other. The manifestation isn't traveling from somewhere else to reach you. It's emerging from the quantum field that exists everywhere simultaneously, including right where you are. When you understand this, waiting transforms from torture to excitement. You're not waiting for something far away to arrive. You're waiting for something that's already here in quantum potential to stabilize into physical form. You're not waiting for the universe to decide whether to grant your request. You're waiting for your own consciousness to achieve sufficient coherence to collapse the desired timeline into experience. The power is entirely in your hands. The timeline is entirely your choice. The frequency is entirely your responsibility. This can feel overwhelming, but it's actually the most liberating truth you could possibly discover. You're not at the mercy of external forces. You're not dependent on luck or timing or other people's decisions. You're the primary creative force in your own reality. Your consciousness is the most powerful tool you possess. Your frequency is the most important thing you broadcast, and both can be changed in any moment through conscious choice. The reverse manifestation process is really about coming home to your true power. Not power over others or power to force outcomes, but power to choose your frequency, power to shift your identity, power to navigate between quantum timelines. This is the power you were born with but forgot. This is the power that spiritual teachings have pointed toward for millennia. This is the power that quantum physics is now proving scientifically. You don't need to earn this power or become worthy of it. You already possess it completely. You just need to remember how to use it. And the way you use it is through the reverse process. Stop chasing. Start allowing. Stop forcing. Start being. Stop doing more. Start becoming more. Stop looking for external signs. Start feeling internal shifts. Stop waiting for permission. Start giving yourself permission. Stop asking when. Start asking who. Who do you need to be right now to match the frequency of your desire? Not eventually. Not after you've done more work. Not when circumstances change. Right now, in this moment, the version of you that lives your desired reality exists right now. That version is calling to you, sending you signals, guiding you toward the merge point. Every intuition you feel, every synchronicity you notice, every moment of unexpected joy is that version reaching out to you across timelines. Your job is simply to reach back, to say yes, to allow the merge, to stop resisting your own expansion, to stop questioning whether you're worthy or ready, to stop waiting for external validation, to step into the identity that's waiting for you, to become who you already are in the timeline where everything you desire is already manifested. This is the reverse process in its essence, moving from future to present, from there to here, from becoming to being, from lack to abundance, from separation to unity, from effort to ease, from force to flow. Every moment offers you the choice to continue the old patterns or step into the reverse process. Every situation gives you opportunity to react from your old identity or respond from your expanded identity. The path before you couldn't be clearer, the choice couldn't be more obvious, the power couldn't be more completely in your hands. Everything you've learned today, every insight you've received, every moment of recognition you've experienced has prepared you for this choice. Will you continue trying to manifest through force, or will you surrender into the reverse process that allows manifestation through being? Your breakthrough is guaranteed when you align with this reverse process consistently, not because you're special or chosen, but because this is how quantum mechanics actually operates. This is how consciousness creates reality. This is how timelines merge and shift. This is the mechanism that's been hidden in plain sight throughout all spiritual teachings. This is the science that's been emerging through quantum physics. This is the truth your soul